Good evening and welcome to the Legends edition on KBC Channel 1. I am Fayyaz Qureshi. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition is Lucy Wara. But first, a quick look at stories making headlines on tonight's bulletin.
We have arrested the governor of Tana River because the DCI and his team want to carry out some investigations related to what is happening in Tana River.
Troubled Tana River. Death toll from inter-clan clashes rises to 18 as Tana River Governor Godana Dado is grilled by DCI sleuths. Workers' payday. Minimum wage workers to get a 6% pay increase starting 1st November. And Safari 7's tournament, Kenyan side Shujaa on course to retain Safari 7's title. Welcome back. Starting off with our top story tonight. The death toll from the ongoing inter-clan clashes in Tana River County has risen to 18 following the death of 4 more people in Meti area. This comes as the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, confirmed that Tana River Governor Godana Dado was picked up by detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and grilled for the better part of Saturday in connection with the inter-clan clashes. Our reporter Frederick Pasayo has details of his arrest, which has been condemned by the Council of Governors, questioning the legality and manner of his arrest.
A day after the government declared 12 wards in Tana River County dangerous and disturbed, 4 more people are reported to have been killed in Meti area, 7 kilometers from Bura. The death toll rose as the area governor Godana Dado and Galole constituency member of parliament Ribai Said Buya were grilled by detectives following the arrest on Friday night. According to the IG, the governor is being questioned in relation to the situation in the county.
Again, to ensure that our brothers and sisters who occupy that part of our country are also safe and secure. Yes, we have arrested the governor of Tana River because the DCI and his team want to carry out some investigations related to what is happening in Tana River.
The governor's arrest has, however, been condemned by the Council of Governors. In a statement by the council's chair, Ahmed Abdullahi, the county bosses say they take great exemption in the recent event last night, which led to the arrest of the governor of Tana River County. The circumstances surrounding his arrest at his residence by DCI officers raised significant questions about the legality and appropriateness. Further, the statement reads, "We strongly condemn such bullying in no uncertain terms." The governor's arrest comes barely 24 hours after the government declared 12 wards in the county as dangerous and disturbed and called upon residents to surrender firearms to the police for safe custody. Parsai Frederick, Legends Edition.
Kenya is set to send an additional contingent of 600 police officers to Haiti next month. Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, who confirmed the deployment, and the officers who were undergoing pre-deployment training are set to join the 400 already stationed in Haiti. Kanja was speaking during a visit by Haiti's interim Prime Minister Gary Coney at the National Police College in Embakasi. Kenya has pledged to provide 1,000 officers to lead the multinational security support mission in Haiti.
On Saturday morning, the top National Police Service, led by Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, led the Haiti Prime Minister Gary Coney to the National Police College at Embakasi in Nairobi County. It was here that the Inspector General of Police confirmed that the second batch of 600 police officers will head to Haiti next month.
We will be ready by early next month. That's the time we'll conclude this training and we will be ready for deployment.
Kanja said the officers were undergoing pre-deployment training preparation ahead of their deployment in the multinational security mission aimed at stabilizing Haiti.
We had been carrying out the pre-deployment training in readiness to deploy them again to go and continue supporting their brothers and sisters who are already in Haiti.
Haiti Prime Minister Gary Conille lauded Kenya police for their professional approach in dealing with the security challenges and restoring stability to the nation.
The presence of the two contingents of Kenyan forces have been of invaluable use in terms of supporting our police force and helping secure parts of Port-au-Prince and actually deploying in operations. We've learned from their own experience, we've learned from their professionalism, and they will continue to be an incredible asset as Haiti faces one of the most dangerous times of its history.
The PM further said Kenya's commitment will deepen bilateral ties between the two nations.
Kenyan leadership thought that Haitian men, women and children are as deserving of the support of the international community as women, men and children everywhere in the world. And we're very grateful not just for the direct support in terms of manpower in the Haiti situation.
The deployment comes 7 months after the UN Security Council gave the go-ahead for Kenya to lead the multinational mission. Haiti appealed for the international assistance in 2023, which prompted the UN Security Council to adopt the mission in October 2023.
Central Organization of Trade Unions has welcomed the recent signing of a Gazette notice that will raise the minimum wage by 6%. The notice, signed by Labour Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua at State House, Nairobi, will take effect on November 1st, 2024, benefiting thousands of workers earning the minimum wage. Under the new wage schedule, unskilled employees will earn a minimum wage of Kenya shillings 7,997, while house helps or cooks will now earn a minimum of Kenya shillings 9,129 per month. Here is our reporter Abdiaziz Hashim with the details.
The decision follows months of negotiations involving the government, trade unions and employers. Initially, employers insisted on the establishment of the National Wages Council before negotiations on the wage increment could begin. According to the Labour Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Alfred Mutua, the signing of this Gazette notice on wage increment is a much-needed relief for thousands of Kenyan workers who earn a minimum wage across various sectors. On its part, the Central Organization of Trade Union KOTU has welcomed the move, noting that the increase is a significant step towards improving the livelihood of Kenyan workers, which KOTU says comes after a formal request made by KOTU during Labour Day celebrations. Under the new wage schedule, unskilled employees will earn a minimum of 7,997 Kenya shillings per month. Stockmen and herdsmen will see their wages rise up to 9,235 per month. House servants or cooks will now earn a minimum of 9,129 per month, while farm foremen will earn 14,427 per month. Abdiaziz Hashim for Legends Edition.
President William Ruto has hailed the relationship between the state and the church as a cornerstone in driving development. The head of state underscored the need for continued cooperation between the two organs to improve access to healthcare and education. He spoke during the installation of Bishop Wallace Nganga as the Bishop Ordinariate, effectively making him the spiritual shepherd of the Kenya Defence Forces.
At the Ulinzi Sports Complex, Catholic faithful thronged the stadium for the installation of the third Bishop Ordinariate at the Kenya Defence Forces. A display of aura and colour as the bishops in a procession made their way to the temporary altar erected at the stadium. Song and dance renting the air as the faithful witnessed another chapter in history. To conduct the installation,
a prudent servant that has been appointed,
Archbishop Hubertus van Megen, the Apostolic Nuncio to Kenya. Being the third Bishop Ordinariate since independence, the event was graced by President William Ruto. The President led speakers in calling on church faithful to uphold the Kenya Defence Forces in prayer as it continues to protect the territorial integrity of Kenya.
Our presence at Bishop Nganga's installation underscores our commitment to support our forces in every way including the provision of spiritual and pastoral sustenance necessary for their well-being and for their duty.
Our brothers and our sisters in the military are doing something divine, looking after their brothers and their sisters on behalf of God. Because unless the Lord watches over a city, over a country, in vain does the watchman keep vigil.
As I come to understand the ways of military life, and I am open to be militarized so that I can be able to be spiritualized you in your military style.
And we look forward to your spiritual leadership. We look forward to working with you, and I have no doubt that you shall fit in seamlessly.
Ruto called for continued nexus between government and state to advance access to healthcare and education.
The Catholic Church is among the foremost of our partners and continues to complement national strategies to serve citizens in many sectors, including education, healthcare, and provision of psychosocial and pastoral services.
He pledged continued support by government for Kenya Defence Forces as it continues with peacekeeping missions outside the country.
That it is my prayer that as you undertake the responsibilities of protecting our nation, as you serve humanity in Kenya and elsewhere around this world, a service that you have provided with dedication and professionalism, that the words of Matthew 5:9 shall be your portion.
John Jacob Curia, Legends Edition.
The Orange Democratic Movement has officially unveiled its top leadership, with Kisumu Governor Professor Peter Nyong'o named as the acting party leader. Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga takes over as the national chairperson, to be deputized by Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasser, Kisii Governor Simba Arati, and Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi. Raila Odinga called on the newly appointed leaders to help steer the country through turbulent political times and towards a future of shared prosperity, hope and good governance.
The National Executive Committee of Orange Democratic Movement Party, led by the party leader Raila Odinga, are on a 3-day retreat in Mombasa County. It is here that the party announced changes in its top leadership following the resignation of the national chairman John Mbadi and the two deputy party leaders Hassan Joho and Wycliffe Oparanya. In the new changes to the party top organ, Kisumu Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o will continue to serve as the party leader, while Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga takes over as the national chairperson, a position previously held by John Mbadi, who is now Treasury Cabinet Secretary. The party has expanded the structure of deputy party leaders from 2 to 3. The deputy party leader's position, previously held by Wycliffe Oparanya, CS for Cooperatives and MSMEs, and Hassan Joho, CS for Mining and Blue Economy, will now be led by Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasser, Kisii Governor Simba Arati, and Vihiga Senator Godfrey Osotsi.
The leaders they are succeeding have been called to help steer Kenya through turbulent times and towards a future of shared prosperity, hope and good governance. We are proud of ODM being a breeding ground for leaders who are in touch with the feelings and dreams of our citizens, who can be called upon to reassure our people that their cries have been heard.
Odinga at the same time announced that the party will conduct grassroots elections starting next month.
These elections are crucial to reactivating our party in every village and neighborhood. Let this exercise be one that strengthens our unity rather than sowing seeds of division and hatred.
The party leader further iterated that ODM remains steadfast in pursuit of good governance, accountability, the rule of law and the fight against corruption. Odinga has temporarily stepped out as party leader as he campaigns for the post of African Union Commission chairperson. For Legends Edition, I'm Abdulaziz Abeid.
Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano has pledged to expedite the establishment of the Nyandarua County Wildlife Compensation Committee in a move aimed at addressing the ongoing human-wildlife conflicts in Nyandarua County. This comes in the wake of concerns over the slow pace in compensation of victims of wildlife attacks.
Local farmers in Nyandarua County who have suffered losses as a result of invasion of their farms and frequent attacks of their livestock by hippos called on the government to intervene and fast-track compensation. A plea that appears to have been heard, with the Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife Rebecca Miano pledging to accelerate the establishment of a Wildlife Compensation Committee to assist residents affected by human-wildlife conflict.
Lazima tuje ili tuweze kuzindua ile County Wildlife Compensation Committee, ndio tuendelee na hiyo kazi ingine, ndio tuweze kuuliza pesa, tujue ni watu wangapi ili tufanye compensation.
This as concerns on the ecological health of Lake Olbolosat have prompted local leaders to advocate for its gazetting as a national reserve. County Executive Washira Mugo emphasized that such a designation will empower the local government to allocate essential funds for conservation efforts.
Sahi hatuwezi budget kwa sababu tutaangaliwa na njicho ingine na control of budget kwa sababu that is a national government affair, kwa sababu it is a wetland. Sasa tumepitisha tayari kwa cabinet, tunangoja public participation alafu tuipeleke mbunge.
Tutaendelea kufuata pamoja mpaka hii kamiti imalize kazi yake, na nikiwa hapo cabinet saa zile tunajadiliana pia mimi nitakuwa nikishikilia na kutilia maanani maneno ya hii lake.
The drying of Lake Olbolosat this year has further exacerbated the situation, prompting hippos to migrate to nearby water resources, leading to tragic encounters, including the recent death of a child. Ben Chumba, Legends Edition.
Mental health champions are urging Kenyans, especially in the rural areas, to openly discuss mental health wellness in a bid to combat the escalating mental health crisis in the country. This call to action comes as mental health professionals recognize the urgent need to destigmatize mental health within the community. Experts say that creating an environment of open conversation can significantly reduce feelings of isolation and help in the healing process.
Kama ni wamama, wasichana, vijana, this power in groups and sharing. Don't feel alone. Identify a person or two who you can talk to. Trust me, a problem shared is half solved.
Rather than waiting for worst case scenario, is to teach yourself and to learn to seek help when it's early enough. The minute you start showing symptoms of not sleeping or thoughts racing, at that very beginning, that is the time to seek help. In that way, we can engage in prevention and promotion where mental health is concerned.
Hundreds of enthusiastic Kenyans have had a chance to sample the diverse and flavorful delicacies from Ghana. This followed the successful Vibrant Taste of Ghana Food Bazaar in Nairobi, hosted by the Ghana Export Promotion Authority in conjunction with Ghana Trade House Nairobi. Deputy CEO of Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Samuel Dento, says the food bazaar is just the beginning of a long-term commitment to fostering cultural and economic ties between Ghana and Kenya. The food bazaar is a part of a series of celebrations that will culminate in a gala dinner today before the anniversary Durbar on Monday, to be held here in Nairobi.
I'm a Bantu, and I know Ghana is Bantu also. I'm Luya, and in Luya, we don't use spoons. No, this one spoils the food. We use our fingers. When you are eating this one in Ghana is called, I don't know, fufu, but in Kenya we call it ugali, and in my language we call it mshuma.
We can't thank the people of Kenya enough for the love that has been shown and the acceptance. And we are believing that even going forward is going to be more exciting for the trade house. And we are going to get more patronage because everything that was used here, everything that was served here can be found in the trade house.
Parents and guardians with children entrusted in studying aviation courses have been urged to consider enrolling them in local aviation schools which equally offer quality training. West Rift Aviation Company Head of Training, Francis Kavingo, says there are over 10 locally owned flying schools licensed by the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, KCAA, offering internationally recognized training, which he implores Kenyans to join for training.
Speaking during the Customer Service Week at West Rift Aviation offices at Wilson Airport, Major Retired Francis Kavingo said locally trained pilots and ground crews have the advantage of attaining their licenses ready for the job markets.
Don't have to go out of the country. Learn everything from here, because when you come back here, you have to learn our standards, everything, aviation law, because our air law and other countries are not the same. So you come and learn a few things again together. The way our operating procedures, the country laws, which is associated with aviation, you have to come and just study them again, because where you went, they have got their own air laws.
Kavingo further says West Rift Flying School was in the process of acquiring a flight simulator, which is a cockpit flight instrument to assist in training pilots.
We are planning to have maybe a simulator now to enhance our training syllabus. But now that we have the twin engine, which requires us to use a simulator before the students go to the twin, they have to do simulator first.
West Rift Aviation Director Marco Ross took the opportunity of the Customer Service Week to thank parents for enrolling their children with the flying school, promising them that they will get value for their money.
Just to ensure that students and parents who've entrusted us, they get value for money. We also want to, of course, appreciate the team that has been working, around the clock, just to ensure that, our students, of course, get the necessary support moving forward. And, of course, the regulator, of course.
Easy, just use it as inspiration, and that, especially now when it comes to like gender and stereotypes, especially for the young women, that it's very much possible, and the industry is very welcoming to women.
As a girl, some people say, oh, this is a male-dominated industry, but no, all of us can do it. Yeah, it's possible.
Right, it's time for a quick break, and we'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Pata the master flare kwenye star 570 hash option ya 4 na ushindi wako tunautangaza the 6th of October. Tucheze, tusaidie, tushinde!
Mapato ya jasho lako, faida ya nguvu zako, na juhudi za kila siku kuboresha maisha yako. KBC ndio ngao ya jasho lako. KBC linzi wa akiba yako. Relax, akiba yako iko salama.
KDIC, safer, stronger together.
Welcome back. The German government has partnered with Kenyatta University and the University of Nairobi to train German language teachers who will in turn teach the language in select schools across the country. Elsewhere, a water project dubbed Tura Tarasha has greatly helped promote peace among previously warring pastoral communities in Isiolo and Laikipia. The conflict, which was often fueled by water scarcity, has led to loss of life and property. These and other stories in the news are making headlines across the counties.
Speaking during the launch of the water project, area residents noted that their lives were slowly returning to normal. The project, which is supported by the Swedish government through the Northern Rangeland Trust and other development partners, has been held as a well-devised initiative to end conflict.
Tumefaidika kupata amani, tumefaidika kupata maji. Hii maji yametusaidia sana kwa sababu wakati hii maji yalishimbwa hapa tulikuja kupatana mahali moja, tukashota maji, tukakula cereal, tukaongea.
By listening to the women and the men here, I can only see how we can continue working together and finding solutions to develop this part of Kenya, but by preserving also its nature and the biodiversity.
Meanwhile, during a cleanup exercise spearheaded by religious leaders in Kangemi, Nairobi County, residents and locals were urged to take care of the environment by avoiding irresponsible littering.
We have some waste that tunapelekanga huko unatumia to compose, na kuna some waste yenye it doesn't decompose, and there is ways of which you can unaweza tu tupa hiyo waste na ikuwe well maintained. Some stuff zina recycliwa, zingine una reuse.
Our attention was drawn to this holding site that was not really supposed to be a dumping site. So at first there was no any alternative way of holding the waste from both market. We normally have a lower market and the upper market. We really want every resident of Mountain View need to understand that the waste is my responsibility.
In Homa Bay County, a crucial meeting was convened to chart the way forward on how to tackle non-communicable diseases with special focus on hypertension.
There is a great uptrend on NCDs, and now as a country we are really wondering how best can we tackle it. So we bring the Minister of Health on board, other stakeholders, and as you are aware, the HIV now is not a main worry to the entire world, but it is NCDs.
Elsewhere, youths have been challenged to consider participating actively on matters relating to sexual and reproductive health. Speaking during the 20th anniversary of the Network for Adolescent and Youth for Africa program in Nairobi, stakeholders revealed that over the years, youth have shunned sexual and reproductive health discussions.
Sometimes the systems, the way programs are designed, don't actually give young people the opportunity to be able to propose solutions on what will work for them and what will not work for them. So giving young people the opportunity to be able to, come up with solutions, sometimes even co-creating the solutions with them, actually is a good way forward.
This comes as the government has reiterated its commitment to collaborate with non-state actors in enforcing its zero tolerance to female genital mutilation.
We look at the country, we have 47 counties, but the counties with the highest prevalence are 22.
And we are sending a warning
to the perpetrators of GBV to tell you that the government is quite alert and we are going to catch up with you.
Meanwhile, the German government has partnered with Kenyatta University and the University of Nairobi to train more teachers on the German language. The teachers are in turn expected to instill the knowledge across various learning institutions, including TVETs, with the aim of preparing professionals in various fields for job opportunities in Germany.
Young people that learn a profession, like let's say automotive engineering, that they also have a little bit of German at the side and can learn German, and that facilitates also their way to Germany at a later stage. And I think this is one of the priorities that we have now for our work also as an embassy here in Kenya.
Tutamfuata ambassador, tuende tukaulize, tuende tukafuatilizie, tuhakikishe kwamba katika ile namba yenye ambao watachukua na sisi pia watu wa Malindi tumeweza kupeleka watu wetu.
Nancy Okwari, Legends Edition.
Right, Turpi Liambila is all set to join us with the latest in sports. Over to Turpi Liambila.
Good evening. Once again, it's a big welcome. Thank you very much, Fayyaz, for the intro. And now we go to the sports segment of the Legends edition this evening, although starting off with not very interesting news for those fans of Harambee Stars like myself. The national soccer team Harambee Stars hopes to redeem themselves when they face Cameroon in the return leg of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier on Monday. After losing 4-1 to the West African nation in the first leg match played last night in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Vincent Abubakar and Martin Hongla was scored the first two goals for Cameroon in the 8th and 39th minutes, respectively, before Harambee Stars striker Michael Olunga made it 2-1 in the 41st minute. Brian Beumo, who plays for Premier League side Brentford, scored the third goal in the 43rd minute before Christian Basogok scored the fourth goal for Cameroon in the 55th minute. Cameroon now tops Group J standings with 7 points after winning 2 out of 3 games against Namibia and Kenya. Zimbabwe is second with 5 points, while Kenya is third with 4 points. Namibia is placed last in the group with no points. Harambee Stars will host Cameroon in the reverse fixture at the Mandela Stadium in Uganda next Monday due to the lack of CAF-approved stadia in the country. On the rugby scene, the Safari Sevens defending champions Shujaa and Moran are through to the quarterfinals of the ongoing Safari Sevens tournament at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos County. Shujaa, who beat Lions Rugby 24-14 in the opening match yesterday, extended the unbeaten run today with a resounding 52-0 over Qatar after convincing 44-0 win over the Varsity Selects. They overcame Zimbabwe 1914 in a closely contested Pool A affair. The Cheetahs of Zimbabwe defeated Lions Rugby 19-7 and Qatar 53-0 in other matches in the pursuit for top spot. In Pool B, the Kenya Morans beat Kenya Harlequins 14-0, then drew 19-19 with Shogun Rugby before they beat Uganda 14-0. Kenya Harlequins at least managed to beat the Red Whalers 17-10. The women's sevens, the Kenya Lionesses beat Shogun Rugby 29-0 before losing 22-19 to Uganda and drawing 19-all with Costa Blanca Barbarians. The Kenyan clubs are yet to register a win as the Safari Sevens comes to a close tomorrow, Sunday, at the Machakos Stadium. South African cyclist Ashley Moolman-Pasio emerged victorious at the elite women and under-23 road races during the 2024 African Road Cycling Championships, which took place today from Eldoret to Iten. Moolman Pasio, who finished 16th at the 2012 London Olympics, took a time of 3 hours, 7 minutes and 50 seconds to complete the 104.40 kilometer race ahead of 35 other cyclists. Eritrean cyclist Dawit Adiam Mengs finished second overall. Rwanda's Diane Ingabire, Jazila Niyakamazi secured the third and fourth positions respectively. Kenya's Monica Chelimo Kiplagat was the top Kenyan finisher, crossing the line in 14th position. Tabu Masiga Kendra and Grace Kamindo Wairimo were 18th and 19th respectively, as Nancy Akinyi Mwangi finished in 25th position. The four-day championship will come to an end tomorrow, with the elite men and under-23 road race taking place from Eldoret to Iten.
It's been a while since I raced at the Continental Championships. Not because I don't want to be here.
It was a great race, a great winner with Ashley Monman-Pasio, and a wonderful atmosphere.
From the soccer scene, FKF presidential aspirant and Extreme Sports CEO Hussein Mohamed has nominated former Kenyan international player McDonald Mariga as his running mate for the forthcoming Football Kenya Federation national elections. Let's take a listen.
Hussein Mariga!
Speaking after the unveiling, McDonald Mariga stated that he understood the problems facing football players and will therefore ensure that all talents are given equal opportunities. The former Harambee Stars midfielder also promised to bring professionalism into Kenyan football and secure sponsorship for all leagues, especially the FKF Women's Premier League.
Every player atapatiwa respect yake. Kwa sababu we are not big. Me and Hussein will be, kwa hiyo hierarchy tusi ndo tutakuwa mwisho. We have to put players first. Tunafaa tuwabeleze kama mayai so that they can deliver.
Homa Bay is also a place. Manchester is a place. Nyeri is also a place. And we could have so many derbies coming in. All right? The Ugali derby when Kakamega plays Vihiga. That would be a big one.
Mariga anajua shida ya mchezaji, analala njaa. Shida ya mchezaji amekosa kiatu. Shida ya mchezaji amekosa jezi. Mariga anajua. Tuwezi kuja tuambiwe porojo hapa. Kwa hivyo Hussein, chikana na Mariga. Hii mambo tumemalo, ama tujamalo? Tumefinish kumalo.
Hussein Mohamed, on the other hand, noted that the main aim is to deal with the past, present and future ideas that will move Kenyan football to greater heights.
We will deal with the present, what is going wrong currently in football, and we will fix it. I will give a more detailed, in-depth analysis or view of my manifesto and articulate it better at another time.
I was very excited that you brought in your team, not just talent, but humility. What defines Mark more than anything else is humility.
Tuende huko, tuchukue ikiti, tubadilishe mpira. Hawa wachezaji lazima wasikie mzuri. Mambo ya kufungiwa nyumba hatutaki.
The FKF national elections are set for 7th of December this year. For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Now, the international scene, 2019 World Marathon champion Ruth Chepngetich and 2022 Tokyo Marathon champion Amos Kipruto will lead Kenya's podium quest at this year's Chicago Marathon, slated for tomorrow, Sunday. Meanwhile, Kenya Pipeline Managing Director Joe Sang will also be taking part in the marathon as he targets to raise funds for needy children. Let's take a listen.
How long they're fueling out here right now. These early miles, it's so important to get in your group pack, to get in the right.
A camera go back after the wheelchair's finished, but the Americans are running together. Galen Rupp, Connor.
Kira, what's your thoughts?
Good morning, everyone. It is actually an interesting turn of events. Sivan Hassan is
age of 13. She loves to run fast. She is running the second fastest time in the history of the sport. She is doing so many great things for the young women and girls that are looking up to her.
From volleyball, Trail Blazers Volleyball Club has appointed Moses Epoloto as their new head coach following Geoffrey Omondi's departure to Kenya Pipeline Women's Volleyball team. The veteran Epoloto is a celebrated figure in Kenyan volleyball circles and brings an impressive track record of success, having previously led the national men's volleyball team and GSU to multiple championship wins. Epoloto is set to lead the club with the support of a talented coaching team comprising Bernard Oselu, Luke Opeto, Epoloto, and Juliad Esdras Mbappe, with a legacy built on winning National League titles and personal accolades. Poloto's appointment is expected to steer Trailblazers Volleyball Club to great heights. While from handball, defending Kenya Handball League champions Nairobi Water women and National Cereals Board Produce Board men carried on their winning ways in the league matches played today at the Nyayo National Stadium. National Cereals and Produce Board beat JKUAT Tigers 51-20 to sound a warning to those who are warming their seat at the table summit. Black Mamba's men's handball team were also victorious against Citizens, whom they beat 41-26. Citizens went on to lose their second match against Desert Scorpions, who beat them 43-35. In the Women's League, Nairobi Water beat JKUAT 41-9, as Ulinzi Sharks beat Kenyatta University 33-21. The games continue tomorrow at the same venue. Arthur Mensch from Breban Swimming Club is the new county record holder in the 14 to 15-year-old boys 1500-meter freestyle after clocking 18 minutes 45.15 seconds. To win that event in the ongoing Nairobi County Aquatic Association Level 3 Swimming Championships at the Kyoto School here in Nairobi. Let's take a look.
The previous record of 19 minutes, 19.28 seconds, set by Thomas Tabuka in 2018.
The event was really fun, challenging to some points, but glad I came and I've really enjoyed myself. Looking forward to what the afternoon has to offer.
I just finished doing my 200 freestyle. My previous time was at 2:35, but now my time is 2:42. Maybe it's because I haven't swum and I have the technique wrong, but I've had better galas than this.
Vanessa Omolo was not left behind in the record-breaking spree as she took a time of 1 minute, 55.77 seconds to erase Anwar Shuka's 2016 record of 2 minutes, 46.83 seconds in the 30 to 34-year-old women's 100 meters backstroke masters.
We want to see how many swimmers will be selected for the Kana Zone 3 in Bujumbura next in December. We want to see how many swimmers are going to qualify for that particular event.
And the top swimmers have been really perfecting their stats and the turns. So for us, we'll really improve on the stats and the turns so that we can really improve our performance going forward.
Elvis Wanjau, Consolata Kirumbi, Nico Dhiambo and Geoffrey Watene also set new county records in different categories.
We're doing well. We already claimed 7 gold medals, hopefully ranking in the top 3, and hopefully we'll do better tomorrow.
I was injured for 2 months, from I think July to September, but yeah, now I've come back. And yeah.
Meanwhile, more than 500 junior swimmers took part in the Peak Sports Swimming Championships 7th round held at the Moi Educational Center here in Nairobi. In the 12 to 13-year-old 50 meters breaststroke, Njeri Njema took a time of 39.29 seconds to finish ahead of Mombi Garuia and Kariuki Trina. In the boys category, Tevin Waweru emerged victorious ahead of Jaden Mackenzie and Nicholas Heb.
When you consider the progress there, swimming is going on, and you can see several children are swimming in the meets. You can see the swimming is on back, and more children are swimming. So you can see that lift of the ban has really helped swimming, because you can see most of the swimmers have come on the board, and we are looking forward to have more swimmers as we go forward.
Finally, 6 teams drawn from Nairobi, Kiambu and Murang'a counties are taking part in the Aberdare Age Group Invitational Swimming Gala at the Thika Memorial School. Braeburn Swimming Club emerged the winners in the female category with 2,201 points. SCK Thika Memorial came in second as M-Pesa Foundation closed the top 3 positions with 771 points.
We had a gala over here. I won 5 medals. I thank my parents for supporting me. The competition was great. I won 4 times, and I want to say thank you to Mom and Dad.
In the male category, SCK Thika Memorial emerged victorious with 1,307 points, followed by Braeburn Swimming Club and M-Pesa Foundation respectively.
And now from the pools over to the martial art corner, where more than 10 schools drawn from Nairobi and Mombasa are participating in a 2-day inter-county taekwondo championship in Mombasa. The championships will be used to select a team that will represent Kenya at the Global Taekwondo Championship, which will be held in South Africa in 2025. Let's take a look.
The championship, which is underway at Nyali Executive Gym, is being used to scout for players will form a team that will represent Kenya in the Global Taekwondo Championship. The players aged between 5 years to 14 will be selected from Nairobi and Mombasa school teams. The players who will emerge victorious in the Mombasa Championship will join the team that will travel to South Africa.
Tunanuia ya kwamba mwaka ujao wale ambao watakuwa wamefuzu na wamecheza vizuri wataungana na wenzao ambao tunawapangia michezo ya kwenda nje ya nchi, na sana tunaangalia kwamba wakifaulu wataweza kwenda South Africa ili wakaweze pia kucheza inter-country.
Helen Kome, a 12-year-old student from Solidarity Primary School in Nairobi, expects to win the Mombasa Championship to add more trophies to her current collection.
As my own inanisaidia na personal strength, physical fitness, discipline, focus, yeah.
Taekwondo Coast Region Technical Chairman Bobo Tieno said they will select the best team ahead of the South Africa Championship, noting that they have gotten a clearance from the government to participate in the South Africa tournament.
How so beautiful to see those young people in the swimming and taekwondo championships. Now, 32 counties met in Kakamega County to prepare for this year's Kenya Inter-County Sports and Cultural Association Games, set to be held from the 24th to the 30th November in Mumias, Kakamega County. 6 county executive committee members were present to represent their sports caucus of the Council of Governors. The 6 CECMs were drawn from West Pokot, Nakuru, Busia, Nyandarua, Kajiado, and host county Kakamega, whose CECM is the caucus chairman Moffat Mandela. This year's games will be spearheaded by the interim committee of Kikoska, led by Chairman John Angawa from Siaya County, Secretary General Humphrey Kangea from Nakuru County, and Treasurer Nancy Sosion from Narok County. KBC was on hand to record this for us. Let's take a listen.
Which I think is a shared policy. In as much as Kikoska is a competition, it is a welfare sport, where we meet as employees of the different counties from all parts of the country to appreciate each other, appreciate our culture, appreciate our appearance, appreciate our behavior, and enjoy Kenya together.
Imerahisishwa sasa, kuna njia mpya na rahisi ya kucheza Avieta. Dial *419# kwenye simu yako na ucheze wakati wowote.
Welcome back to the sports segment. Now, the urge to secure stadiums and attract more fans inspired Confederation of African Football (CAF) to establish a safety and security division which has seen the Confederation conduct training in more than 10 countries. Kenya is the latest nation to receive the training, where 40 security officials were trained during the 3-day workshop, which was attended by CAF Head of Safety and Security, Dr. Christian Emerua, who speaks with our reporter Bernard Okumu about the initiative and the state of football on the continent. Let's take a listen.
The CAF Safety and Security Department was created 5 years ago to help member associations enhance safety and security during matches.
Our mandate is to ensure that we develop policies, guidelines, regulations that will be utilized by member associations in preventing deaths from happening across the stadiums. And in recent years, we have also observed that we have people that are working as security officers in various departments, in various areas in Africa. However, these people are mostly not trained in the contemporary safety and security operations as it relates to football specifics. So we felt that from CAF end, it is important that we go into our member associations and empower these persons who are responsible on the daily decisions of how lives and properties can be protected and kept safe in stadiums.
The safety and security training being conducted in several countries in the continent, Kenya being one of them, is said to play a big role in development of football in the continent.
First and foremost, it will make sure that there are no more deaths in the stadiums. Secondly, it will help in ensuring that the safety and security service level is transformed within the continent of Africa. You will agree with me that these days, when people go to the stadium, they have to be very strong because it's a struggle for them to access the stadium. And that is why most times, most people cannot freely go to the stadium with their families because they feel they are not safe. And what we are trying to do in essence is that we want to make the stadium a safe haven for anyone who wants to come and watch football match. And to also make sure we deal with those miscreants who always come to foment trouble in the stadiums. The stadium is not a place where people come to create problems. It's a place where people come to have fun, enjoy the game, and go back home.
The 40 trained senior security officers, SSOs, are expected to spread the knowledge gained for the benefit of the game.
To strategically identify key players. And these key players, as we speak, we have also given them all the materials for them to go back to their various clubs to also commence similar training with their own teams. Okay? So it's a multiplying effect. Okay? We come in here, we train the chiefs. The chiefs are expected to go back home and train the supervisors. The supervisors are also expected to train the men. And this is how it will become, a wider spread in terms of the training that we have done. So we believe strongly that with this 40, which is capturing the key elements within the federation, it will be able to trickle down, to all those who are supposed to be trained that are not currently here. The federation also has the right and the responsibility, as a matter of fact, to also organize Kenyan security training specifically for other groups that they feel they need to train.
Among the key elements that matter while dealing with the fans is the last mile concept.
Now they know what it is when we talk about capacities, okay? There's what is called the entry capacity, the holding capacity, the exit capacity, the emergency evacuation capacity, and then the maximum safe capacity of the stadium. So now they know how to calculate these things. For example, they now know that for you to fill up a 20,000 stadium, you need to factor the fact that you need 660 people that can pass through your gate in 1 hour, unlike before. So now you can do the maths, So the idea for us is that with the knowledge that we have exchanged with them and the continued exposure to further knowledge, it will sharpen them in being able to progressively move away from what they used to do that probably is not yet there into what we expect them to do now that would probably take the organization of safety and security to the next level.
The training is part of CAF's attempt to build capacity among the East African countries who will play host to 2025 African Nations Championship CHAN and the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations.
It's very fundamental. Amongst these people that we have trained, we have police officers, Okay, we have people from the Kenyan Football Federation, we have people from your clubs, and you already have 40 experts, so to speak, or 40 trained people in your country. And all we are saying now is make use of them, okay? Make use of them so that they can become added value to the bigger picture of hosting the CHAN.
The training is set to complement CAF stadium regulations, where each country is required to have a fitting facility meeting international standards.
Why we are strong on the stadium issues is because we want standardization, we want upgrades, and we want safety for all. And now we are developing capacities because we also want people who can be able to manage the process. So this is the only thing that I believe that will take African football to the next level.
The 40 trained SSOs avow that they'll now approach their work differently after the training.
People who have different ambitions, different emotions. Once we have been equipped with the knowledge on how to manage these crowds, trust you me, we are going to have zero instances of crowds being unruly, because we now know how to manage our crowds. We know now to operate with them. Now they are going to be our friends. Initially, they have been seeing stewards and SSOs to be enemies, but trust you me, going forward, we know how we are going to handle them. We are going to handle them from the branch.
First of all, has been disciplined, and I have learned that thing since I joined the army, and I'm out of the army now, and I'm still a disciplined person, and a lot of patience that I have when I'm implementing things. It really helps me a lot. Like now, transiting from football, because it came to an age that I can't play it anymore in the field. Now I'm trying to transition from being a player to an SSO.
Bernard Okumu, Legends Edition.
Now we're just going to take you back a little. Earlier on, we had talked about the Chicago Marathon set for tomorrow, Sunday, and mentioned, among others, Ruth Chepngetich and Amos Kipruto as the trailblazers for tomorrow's marathon. Remember that Chicago Marathon has been dominated by the Kenyans, and we hope that tomorrow again will be another case. Now, the director just told me that he has a more detailed clip for us. Please enjoy.
A camera go back after the...
Amos Kipruto will have to fend off fellow Kenyan and 2023 Berlin Marathon champion Vincent Ngetich, who has an identical personal best of 2 hours, 3 minutes and 13 seconds, with Daniel Simiyu Ebenyo also featuring for the first time. However, the Kenyan contingent is facing a tough test, with Ethiopian Berhanu Legese presenting the toughest test in the men's field. On her part, Ruth Chepngetich, fourth on the all-time list and 2-time champion, will be out to reclaim the title, having been denied by Stefan Hassan last year. Just like Kipruto, Chepngetich faces a motivated Setume Kebede of Ethiopia, who brings an impressive personal best of 2 hours, 15 minutes and 55 seconds. 2021 London Marathon champion Joycelyn Chepkosgei will also line up in Chicago, hoping for good returns after finishing fourth in Chicago last year. The 2024 edition will start with a moment of silence in honor of the late Kelvin Kiptum, who set a world marathon record of 2 hours and 35 seconds last year before he died in a tragic road accident. Meanwhile, Kenya Pipeline Managing Director Joe Sang will take part in this year's Chicago Marathon as it targets to raise funds for needy children. Sang arrived in Chicago on Friday, ready for Sunday's race. Through the Joe Sang Foundation, the Kenya Pipeline Managing Director is targeting to raise 200 million shillings to benefit needy children whom he wants to educate in the next few years.
I'm running because I want to give back to society. I want to give back to that needy child, the child who way back in our villages today, who have the potential, but they don't have the means. That needy child who will need that school fees to be able to go to school, so that they're able to achieve their full potential in life.
Now, still on the international scene, the UEFA Nations League. Dennis Undav scored a brace to ensure Germany's 2-1 win over Bosnia-Herzegovina in the UEFA Nations League Group 3 matches. The Stuttgart striker put the Germans ahead in the 30th minute before doubling the lead 6 minutes later. Edin Dzeko reduced the deficit in the second half with a header as they went on to search for an equalizer in vain. 10-man Netherlands drew 1-1 with Hungary. at the Pushkas Stadium in another Group 3 match. Roland Salai put the hosts ahead after 32 minutes before Netherlands. Defender Van Dijk was given the marching orders for a second yellow card in the 79th minute. The visitors were one man down, however managed to snatch a point when Denzel Dumfries headed in the equalizer 4 minutes later. Germany now leads Group 3 with 7 points, followed by the Netherlands with 5. Hungary has 2 points, while Bosnia tails with a point. Now, the Central Europe Rally Toyota Gazoo Racing World Rally Team will continue their chase for the 2024 FIA World Rally Championships on challenging roads across Germany, the Czech Republic and Austria, when the Central European Rally takes place between the 17th and the 20th of this month. Let's take a look. By achieving a magnificent maximum score on the previous round in Chile, Toyota Gazoo Racing is leading with 2 rounds remaining. The cross-border Central European Rally and the season finale Rally of Japan. Both events are made up of demanding asphalt roads. Sebastian Ogier and Delphine Evans remain in mathematical contention for the Drivers' Championship and will be joined in the team's lineup by Takamoto Kasuta.
15 seconds ahead of teammate Evans by the time the fog lifts. Fight at the end of rally power stage within a tenth of a second of Ogier's benchmark time.
And that's a wrap-up for the sports segment of the Legends Edition this Saturday evening. Hoping that you'll be with us again next Saturday for another bumper edition from the sporting world. Remember, throughout the week, keep it KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. But remember, before I hand you over to my colleague, Fayyaz Qureshi, after the show, we have Bridge over Congo. Don't forget your date with the Rumba. Kibangu Mfumu, Winnie Marie Jose, and DJ 254 Salim are on standby to give you the best of Rumba this side of Africa. Over now to Fayyaz Qureshi. I am Topi Liambila signing off.
Of a bulletin, Topi Liambila. Now he's going to take his shoes off and just dance without shoes to the Rumba, right? Thank you very much, Topi Liambila. And that's all from our newsroom. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition was Lucy Wara. I'm Fayyaz Qureshi. Thank you for watching.
KDIC, safer, stronger together.